Warning: the opinions expressed in the following program are that of the host and or guest. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Complex Networks, Yahoo Sports, its affiliates, or any employee thereof. This show may contain adult humor and profanity and may not be suitable for general audiences. Now that we got all that corporate bullshit out the way, let's start the show.
Now, welcome back to Dr. Trill. Our guests today are Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield and his former head coach, Hugh Jackson. So, Baker, keep it 100 with me. Why are you acting so light-skinned towards your former head coach?
I don't like that he lost his job and goes to a team that we play twice a year. How dare he find a new job? All you hoes, shut up. Cash me outside the box. How about that?
Baker, I want you to look out in my audience. There are several ex-convicts out there. They will give you a two-piece with a biscuit if that's what you want. You started out at Texas Tech, right? And then you transferred to Oklahoma for a scholarship. How is that any different than what Hugh did?
I didn't lose 30-plus games, be fake, and then go do that.
Now, isn't that just like Hugh losing his scholarship with the Browns and getting a scholarship with the Bengals?
I guess so.
Who does Hugh remind you of?
Me.
So, Baker, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look over at Hugh, and I want you to say, "I'm sorry, Coach Jackson. Hugh, I am for real."
I'm sorry, Coach Jackson. Hugh, I am for real.
That was a good job, Baker. I have a special announcement for you. Hugh is actually your father. I'm just kidding. Psych. I'm just playing around. I want you guys now both to stand up. I want you guys to look at each other. And, Baker, I want you to give Hugh a hug, okay? Give him a big old hug.
Come on, Bake. Give your old coach some love.
Psych! You just got baked. Now take your bum ass back to the Bengals and tell them to hold this L.
Man, shout out to the king of daytime, Dr. Trill, and I don't know what we're going to do with Baker's dance moves right there. Well, Mark Madsen going on. He's the Super Bowl champ, Martellus Bennett. That's funny man James Davis. I am Ben Lyons. Welcome everybody to Mostly Football. You guys having a good week? Chilling? Happy holidays? You guys good?
I just don't know who's the motherfucker that created holidays? Like, who's in charge of, like, yeah, let's make St. Patrick's Day or let's turn Thanksgiving into a holiday? How did it become a holiday?
It was some white dude, right?
And we're off to the races on Mostly Football. Speaking of white guys, lifelong Bears fan and white guy, star Matt Walsh is going to be here in a bit. As always, Mostly Football's bringing it right out of the gate. So on tonight's show, we'll get into how Rubin Foster somehow got signed. Plus, Aaron Rodgers, he's starting to sense his own football mortality. Is he starting to slip? And Marty tries his hand at designing sneakers with cool guy Kickstradamus.
Are you a duct tape guy, though? Duct tape seems like a great tape for this.
I like duct tape, but if you put it on these shoes and then you take off the duct tape, it leaves all the residue. I got my blades here, too, so you can use a blade if you want to.
I got some of those, too. I use those.
Yes, sir. This is how I get the crisp lines.
Yeah, I don't like crisp lines, because I'm not crispy.
What does that mean? You're not crispy?
I mean, I don't like things when it's, like, perfect, because human beings aren't perfect. I think when you can see the human element to design or to concepts, it looks great. I feel like you can connect with it on a higher level. Me personally. Some people love straight lines, but I like round edges because we're rounded people.
You crispy guy?
I am a crispy guy. I feel like if I'm drawing, I want to stay in the lines. I want things to be clean, and especially if it's on my wall at my house. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that human element. I just want it to be clean.
Yeah, high and tight over there. It's a potential playoff positioning game tonight in Dallas. I can't believe we're talking about the Cowboys in the playoffs. The Saints, the hottest team in NFL, well, they're winners of their last 10, and they travel to Dallas to take on those Cowboys who've, I guess, turned it around as of late, winning their last 3. Is everything cured in Dallas if they somehow get an upset tonight?
No, I don't think they get the upset. I think it's an indoor game. It's not a long traveling place. They probably could drive up to New Orleans from New Orleans, and the Saints are just rolling. I don't know if they could keep up the points-wise. You know what I'm saying? They will have to try to slow the game down, pound the ground, running through the ground with Ezekiel Elliott, make sure they could run the clock and try to keep the ball out of Drew Brees' hands. But I don't really understand. If it gets to a run and gun type game, it's not going to be close because Dak cannot throw with
No, he can't keep up
Yeah,
with Drew Brees.
they can't beat in the air. They can't play in the air. They
I
can't.
feel like every week on this show, we were like, for, I don't know, September, October, November, we were talking about the Cowboys being a mess, and now here we are talking playoffs with Dallas. You're shaking your head.
I mean, because here's the thing. It's a moral victory if they win Dallas, they go out, they feel good. But at the end of the day, that whole team needs a rehaul. You know, it just needs a whole reset. And if they win, I don't want anybody confused thinking that they actually have a good franchise right now.
Yeah, well, luckily, we've got our man on the scene in Dallas, your best friend, Desi, who can talk to the man himself, the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, about what the Cowboys need to do to figure things out.
What's up, MFers? This is best friend Desi coming to you live from the Big D. Since it's going down in my hometown, you know I have to lace y'all with that exclusive. So I got none other than Cowboys owner Jerry Jones coming over for an interview right now. Damn, my shoe untied.
Desi, what the hell are you doing?
What's up, JJ? I was just tying my...
What kind of interview is this fixing to be, Desi? Deuces.
Hold up, Jerry. I was just kneeling to tie my shoe. Jerry. Man, Jerry tripping. He said he don't want to do the interview now. I guess he don't like the way I tie my shoe. But this is Desi Brown for MFBN. Back to you in the studio.
You know, I had a great time in Dallas, right? So when I was in Dallas, there was one point in my career where I was going through this emotional roller coaster. I almost retired my third year in the league, right? And one day I was at work, and John Kitna was one of the greatest human beings I ever played football with. And I told John, I said, they keep fucking with me, I'm gonna kill somebody. And apparently John told the team psychologist because he took me seriously. So I get these calls from the team psychiatrist. I'm talking to her, whatever. You know, my wife is at the house, and then Jerry's like, "Oh, Jerry wants you to go by his house," and I'm just like, I don't know if this is good. I don't want to go to the big house. That's like getting called off the field to go to the house. Like, is he gonna make me a lemonade maker or what's going on? So anyway, I go by Jerry's house, and I get to Jerry's house, and when I get there, first of all, the driveway is marble. Right?
Are you serious though? This
is in Highland, Dallas. I go there, the driveway's marble, and I'm just like, well, damn, you know, at this time I didn't really have a lot of money. I was driving an Escalade, which isn't saying that you don't have a lot of money.
Well, by the way, the barometer of wealth is very different.
But Escalade
all
these
of us.
days, you can't really drive an Escalade these days because you look like an Uber driver, which is not what you want. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I pulled up in my Uber car, and I'm at Jerry Jones. I'm at Jerry Jones' house. I go in his house, and I sit down, and he owns like half of the Texas Commerce Library, him and Boone Pickens. He's like, yeah, me and my friend Boone, we switched. You know, you got a name like Boone Pickens.
We already know.
You're rich, right? Boone Pickens is a rich name, you know what I'm saying? So I go in there, we start talking or whatever. I go through, me and him have this, he loves art, I love art. So he has this art collection way. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, I bought that so many years ago. Now it's worth like $6 million. I was like, can I touch it?
Now, was this crispy art or human art?
This was human art. Because he introduced me to one of my favorite artists, which was Trenton Doe Hancock, which is this African-American artist from Oklahoma, and they have a lot of art in the stadium at Dallas, the new stadium. So Trenton Doe Hancock was in there too. But anyway, I'm sitting down there with Jerry, and we're talking, and then he's like, "Do you want some tea?" And I was just like, "No." They bring out the tea.
Oh, no.
This was before Get Out.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Marty.
I was like, oh no, do you got some Kool-Aid? So but anyway, Jerry Jones, we had a great conversation. Then I finished my career as a Dallas Cowboy, and I moved on with the rest of my life. But Jerry has a really nice house. Oh yeah, he collects silverware. That was what I wanted to tell you. I went by, when you get rich, you start collecting weird shit. You know what I'm saying? So he had like Louis XIII silverware from his castle. I was like, do you eat off of these?
Rich people have just really no idea what to do with their money sometimes. That must be a nice problem to have.
Let me break down the moral of that story. Yeah. Okay, one, Jerry Jones has rich friends and has nice silverware. Martellus is cultured as fuck and can always name an artist. And also, if you feel like you're being threatened to be in the sunken place, Kool-Aid.
Ask for Kool-Aid.
Well, from Big D and Jerry Jones to the biggest story in the NFL this week, and it's also the most controversial one. The Washington football team signed Rubin Foster on waivers just 2 days after the 49ers released him following an arrest on domestic violence charges. Foster has been charged with a crime 3 times this year. He was placed on the commissioner's exempt list. Washington says Foster won't play until he's cleared of all charges. Foster gets signed. Colin Kaepernick, he's still sitting at home. Marty, how do you feel about this whole Rubin Foster story?
I just feel like the moral compass of the NFL is just like the moral compass of what Jack Sparrow had when he was trying to find dead man's treasure. You know, just like going all over the place. It's like they're okay with dealing with a guy who has domestic violence, issue after issue. This one took place in the team hotel.
I got a rule for
you. You get arrested at the team hotel?
I mean, that's absurd. I have a rule for the NFL, and I think they should adopt it. I wonder if you guys co-sign this rule. If you punch a woman in the face, you can't play football.
I got a question for you guys, though. I got a question.
I'm down.
James is in. All right.
First signature.
Yeah, there you
go.
Signature.
I got a question for you.
No, but seriously, I'm not trying to even joke about it because it's just playing football is a privilege, and being able.
I don't agree with it being a privilege.
It's a right. It's a right to play. You earned it. Yeah, but you earn that right. You earn that privilege, right? You have to work for it, and part of that is not punching women in the face.
I don't think you should
punch women in the face. You don't get to do that.
My question is, how would you feel if someone punched a woman in your life in the face?
I don't know, Martellus. I think I'd be pretty chill about it myself. I'd be angry. I mean, I don't want to see that guy on any TV screen or anything.
So my thing is like when it's a woman that's not close to you, why is it not as big of an issue as it should be? Because it's not close to home. That could easily be your daughter. That could easily be your sister. But people don't look at it like that. They look at it in the aspect of like, oh, I don't know her, what their situation is, blah blah blah. Turn a blind eye. Oh, he plays football well. Like I don't think there's no exempt because domestic violence is a real thing. People go through this shit. This is a very dangerous situation. And to do it on multiple occasions and reward people who do this on multiple occasions is just fucking ridiculous to me.
And then what happens to like the rest of the team when a guy like this comes into the fold and you're one of his teammates and you have this passionate stance on what's going on? Like, how does that affect the dynamic?
I ain't fucking with him. I don't want to be on a team with somebody that's, I'm raping women, beating women. Like, you don't want to sit in a room with a rapist? Or a woman beater, like how can I'm with my wife and how can we have dinner, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
and team sports are about communication and working with each other. And if some dude that I don't respect at all is yelling at me to watch for a coverage or do this, I'm like, man, get your wife beating ass up out my face. Like, I can't work with you.
I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look for the first time to be able to punch him. I'm always on edge. Like, if I get a chance, you just say one wrong thing, then I'm probably gonna punch you. Yeah, just because I want to punch you from the beginning. I'm looking for a chance for something to happen so that I could punch you in the fucking mouth. I personally, I've slapped teammates. I've done different things. I've looked for opportunities to, handle things, a situation my way, and that's probably how it would be.
Yeah, no, solving problems of violence with more violence, I think, is always a good
Sometimes people just need their ass whooped.
There you go.
So at home, email us if there's somebody who you need to get punched. Because Martellus loves to do it, and if they're an immoral, non-virtuous person, we will send Martellus to whoop their ass. All right, email us down there. It's the emails right there. Did y'all do it? Did y'all put the email down? Y'all did? It's cool. Never mind.
After you send in your email, I want to get to this next story, which is also a controversial one around the NFL right now, and it's around Reid, who famously, of course, knelt next to Colin Kaepernick, and he's still feeling it. Panther safety, who's taken 5 random drug tests in the 8 weeks since he's been back in the league, claims he's being targeted by the NFL. Gee, you think? Does this feel random to anybody on the panel today?
That's like winning the lottery 5 times. That's how random it is. Like there's 1,500 people. I mean, there's 1,500 people getting drug tested. How do you pick my name out of this barrel of however many people 5 times out of 8?
I mean, how much pee do you need from this man? Honestly, are they just saving up his pee? Is there a pee exhibit?
5 times is completely absurd. I don't understand how drug testing works in the NFL. You have a better sense of it than I do.
Usually, you got to take off your shirt. It's very easy.
You got to take off your shirt to get
so that way that you're not cheating. Then you pull down your pants or whatever, blah, 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 whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you go in there.
Because you put the extra pee in
Clearly,
your
I'm not the random targeting of drug tests.
Yeah, so like you go in there, you get the drug test, and this dude, like this guy sitting there I don't know why you take this job.
What do you do for a living, sir? I watch men pee.
Yeah, so I go in this one place, and he put 2 footprints down that was facing him to pee. I'm like, bro, like I'm a grown-ass man. You need to take your ass around to this toilet, and I'm peeing over the toilet. I'm not going to turn around and put my feet on this line to pee in front of you because your lazy ass don't want to walk around. But anyway, you get drug tested, you got to wait in line. If you go in there, you can't pee. You got to stay there hours and hours. You only got a certain time limit to pee or whatever. So you try to hydrate, and then if it's too much, you drink too much water, it's It's not a complete sample. So it's a tedious process, but it's supposed to be random. You're only supposed to have to do it every once in a while. Go through the tedious process.
Once or twice a year.
If you had to go to the DMV 5 times in 8 weeks, that's what it's like.
Yeah, that's not a good look. So shout out to Eric Reid, too, for staying clean while being targeted throughout all of this. All right, now on a lighter note.
They can't hold you down, black man.
Baker Mayfield calls his old coach a faker. After his new team, the Bengals, lost to the Browns, Hugh Jackson sought out Baker for, one of those post-game man hugs, and Baker stiffed him with a handshake, then called Jackson a fake on IG for taking a job with a division rival. So if you're keeping score at home, Baker once left Texas Tech for Oklahoma for more playing time, and the Browns fired Hugh Jackson, so he needed a job. Marty, is Baker acting like a true franchise quarterback here?
I don't know about the franchise quarterback thing, but this is just like a teenager thing. Like, the man needs a job. I get a job. I tell you right now, like in the NFL, there's only so many jobs available. No other career can you wake up and get traded in the morning and have no say-so in where you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one talks about that part of it. Like,
James, tomorrow we love your work on Mostly Football, but you're going to MTV.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no say-so. It's like, oh, now you have a family, you have to move, you have to get work. Like, wherever you willing to get a job at, it's the same way. If it's the Browns, it's the Bengals, this is the Chargers. If I have to move across the world, I'm getting that job. It's like, no one at Apple has to work like, hey, we traded you to Dell. Like, good luck. Have a great day. Like, they
People make those power moves and shifts all the time in the corporate world. And when it happens in the NFL, we forget that it's like real families and real people's lives. And this just shows his immaturity.
Well, this just tells me that he hasn't experienced the true NFL just yet, right? Because as the career goes on, you realize that no place is forever. It's a job. There's no loyalty to teams. They have this whole idea, this figment of imagination where people like, oh, do you want to retire with a team, play your whole career with a team? No. You want to go play for wherever team you can get a check at. Like, whoever's hiring, that's where you fucking get a job. Like, your first-round pick is a little bit different, but other guys at the bottom, it don't matter where you play, as long as you get on the field and you get a job. So for him to be like, to talk about a man getting another job is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, well, from one QB who's just starting out his career and clearly doesn't know what's going on to one of the greatest QBs of all time, Aaron Rodgers admits that he might be seeing the end rather soon. No wonder. The Packers lost a huge game on Sunday night to the Vikings. They're 0-6 on the road this year, and Rodgers is like missing wide receivers who are open in the end zone, very un-Aaron Rodgers-like. They're going to have to run the table if they just want to make the playoffs. Marty, you play with Aaron Rodgers. Are you seeing anything that we're not? Is he starting to lose it?
No, I mean, his skill level is still high. I think he's a little more flustered, and I think he's trying to make even more happen than he had to do in the past. And when you try to make more happen, things don't go your way. He's still able to throw the ball. He's still going to be able to do all the things he's doing. But no one says anything when Steph Curry's in a shooting slump.
It's like, James, you're out in these clubs on a Friday, Saturday night. You're getting a little older right now. Are you starting to, like, not hit the after-hours places? Are you, like, not doing late-night street meet? Like, is it a different approach to the game now than it was when you first started your career?
Yeah, I'm definitely not hitting the street meet like I used to in my early 20s. But, yeah, you're in a zone when you feel like you're the best, and when you start slipping, you start questioning yourself, and your swag just gets a little off. Right now, Aaron's swag is just a little off, and it has to do with his coach and the system, but in general, he's just not his same self. And he's rocking a really ugly mustache right now.
But I think the thing too is that, like, they have to get some plays called that make it easier for him. Like Aaron, like, all his deep balls usually come from him scrambling, getting someone to jump off sides. You never just see him drop back, a 7-step drop, and throw a bomb because he's always getting pressure. He has to move a lot. Like, he's never really in the pocket. They don't really call plays where he just gets some easy, deep throws. Like, you see, like, you'll watch the kid from the Rams. I can't think of his name off.
Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff. You watch Jared Goff, there's times where, or Tom Brady, he's able to just drop back, and the system designs plays for him to be able to make deep throws and make throws. The receivers out there, they got to make plays, scrambling, drills, rolling. They don't really.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all hell breaks loose, and he's got to save the day, and it's harder to do in year, 12 or whatever it is for him. And also, we forget, like, he's 34. That used to be the age when QBs kind of fell off. Now we got Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers and Big Ben and all these dudes I think are kind of screwing Rodgers a little bit because they're playing into their 40s. So if Aaron is starting to slip, well, Blake Bortles, well, he's falling on his ass. Bortles has been benched this week for Cody Kessler. Fight on. The Jags are reeling, losing 7 straight. Jalen Ramsey, king of the August shit talkers, called quarterback Josh Allen trash, then went out and lost to the Bills. Last year, the Jags, I can't believe this, they came 1 game away from reaching the Super Bowl. What happened in Saxonville? What's going on with Jacksonville?
I think that, for me, what I think is it's like when you have that amount of success that quickly, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the teams aren't built to sustain it because they don't know how they got it. Right? So it's just like it happened. We played well, we had good games, but like what's the method? Like what's the process of they don't have a process to continue to win. Like they just go out there and play, and then when things are going well, they're going to win a lot of games. When things start going bad, that's usually when the process kicks in and you're able to continue to make plays. I think what's going on down there right now is that they got a bunch of guys who are like dogs, like which is what you want on your team. But when you have too many pit bulls and not enough poodles, you know what I'm saying? It's like the dog show's not the same. You know,
the dog show's different energy.
Yeah, Westminster's not the same. You know what I'm saying? You need the right amount of pit bulls, you need the right amount of Rottweilers, and the right amount of
Yorkies as well.
Yeah, you need a couple of Yorkies. Yorkies are great dogs. They do their job. They what they're used for. Every dog has a different purpose. You know what I'm saying? So when all your dogs have the same purpose, you only can serve one job. And then I think they're just clashing with one another. They know that their quarterback sucks, which is the worst thing you could possibly do when you know your quarterback sucks. It's just kind of like, well, damn, our quarterback sucks. And then and then they're not being able to run the ball. They can't run the ball. Fournette's been out. He's fighting. So everyone's angry. And when you're angry and you want to win and things, you're kind of desperate, everyone starts doing what it becomes about me.
Yo, like Jalen Ramsey was so much fun in August and September.
So much fun.
Is it still fun for you to like see this guy talking shit and losing? It's
no, now it's sad. Yeah. Now it's really sad because at first I admired it. I was like, we need this in the NFL. Yeah. But when you're losing and then you're talking mess, but then you're immediately losing afterwards, it's like you just want to you want to give him a hug.
This is why I say talking shit in NFL. Like I don't talk shit when I play NFL because you can't really dictate the game. You gotta depend on it's not basketball. Basketball, I'm busting your ass. I know I'm controlling the game. Football, the offense is playing bad. They're scoring all these points. They're turning the ball in the red zone. There's nothing you can do. They're scoring 40 points on you. There's just so many different elements into it. That's why I just be like, talk shit against the opponent when you play against them if you want to do that and shut your man down. But football is a hard sport to talk trash. Or I can't talk trash because they may not throw me the ball for 4 quarters. And I'm just out here, I'm killing you. Like, he can't hold me. But if the quarterback gets sacked or there's pressure, he can't see me. There's so many different things going on that it's hard to talk shit in the NFL. But as a DB, you have to be, because you're on the island. So you have to talk shit. You got to have that swag. You got to play with that confidence at the defensive back position and the wide receiver position because they're both on islands. A lot of their stuff is one-on-one. So they get exposed more than anyone else. In the interior offensive linemen, you can see it. They got help. They got this. They got that. So
he's going to keep talking that shit even if they keep losing. You know, Jalen Ramsey, that's just like you said, part of his DNA in the position. And he's talking so much trash that despite the fact that his team isn't really helping him out and backing him up, like you're saying, network executives, well, in Hollywood, they're thinking that they might have the next big reality show on their hands.
Welcome back to Jail's Kitchen. Now, Chef Jalen Ramsey must taste the final dishes and select a winner.
Josh Allen, what this is?
This is my take on traditional buffalo wings. They're much better than everybody thought they'd be. And they kick you in the butt when you least expect it.
Tastes a little trashy. Next. Big Ben, you old rickety blockhead. What you make?
Well, I made a brownie with red dates. That's jujube fruits inside. And I wanted to garnish it with Le'Veon chocolate diamonds, but hard to find.
This is decent at best. The good part isn't you, it's the brownie mix. You just sling it in the oven. You ain't all that. Thank you. Next.
What up, Jail?
What up, Blake?
I made your favorite, crispy fried crow. Perfect for all those L's you've been taking after you've been talking all that shit.
I'll stick by my opinions, though. Okay, I made my decision. You trash, and Blake, I can finally say this, you trash too. Let's go.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're pretty trash right now, so it begs the age-old question. Could the best team in college beat a trash team in the NFL? This year, it's all about Alabama, of course. Mark Ingram says that his Tide would win at least one game. Reggie Ragland went on to say they're actually going to make the playoffs if they were in the NFL, that Alabama can make the playoffs. Marty, is this like a ridiculous question that gets asked every year that makes you think we're all stupid?
Fuck no, they cannot play in the NFL. First of all, everybody in the NFL is the most talented people on the team. Like, I know it's Alabama, but first, and the main reason why they can't is because the men in the NFL are playing for a different purpose. They have a family to feed. And when you plan to feed your family at a level, you have kids, and you have that man strength, it's totally different. Rookies come in all the time and get their ass whooped all the time. All these top players come in, they get their ass whooped. It's just the game moves differently, it's coached differently. Yeah, you can run through all these college coaches and they spread it out, whatever, but you come to the NFL, you get your ass smacked. And a lot of these kids don't even do that well in the NFL.
No, it's true about the Alabama kids in the NFL.
USC kids too.
USC dudes as well. Tom Brady went to Michigan, for the record. But you mentioned that the idea of like man strength and what you're playing for. It's a difference when you're playing to feed your family as opposed to just playing to like be big man on campus.
Right. Like if you have a spring break coming up, you're not as locked in as someone who's playing to pay 100 bills and pay for the apartment of your best friend and your cousin and the dude you grew up with. How many people are you paying for? 30, 40 people?
I mean, two right here. I'll tell you that much.
Right?
Well, yeah,
support me, dog.
Well, I'm not paying for that many people, first of all. That's how you go broke. Second of all, like, I don't think that football IQ is that high. I don't think in college football they coach them with the high enough IQ level of what the game takes to play. The little nuances that guys have, their savviness, that learn how to do different tricks of the trade. Because a lot of these guys come in and the vets teach them a lot. Like they don't know so much about football. They're still going to class. There's no time for them to really learn the game at a level. Like that's why quarterbacks come in. There's a huge learning curve. You know, tight ends come in. It's a huge, huge learning curve for tight ends because now they got to be in a three-point stance on both sides of the ball, left hand, right hand. They got to know how to trade block. They got to know how to zone. They got to know the reads. They got to know when defense is slanting. They got to know all these different elements of playing this position where it's a 6-inch step. Is it a 0 step? Is it a, you know what I'm saying, am I taking a jump hop Witten step? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's all these different maneuvers and way you play the game that you don't get taught in college because in college you just do best athlete, fuck, I'm running past you. Most tight ends play standing up the entire time in college. Like, once they got a three-point stance, they don't know how to understand leverage or motherfuckers teeing off on you and whipping your ass, extending you, whipping you. Like, it's just so much to go. Like, you know, it's just, football to me is a lot of people think it's a mental game. And when you start to get to the mental elements of the game, I just don't think they played enough football to that point.
You got the most original mental game I've ever seen. You're the only person on the planet who knows 0 steps in Japanese animation. Like, you got a lot of wild shit up in your brain right there. That was
a lot of football.
James and I were sitting there on some, like, we never put on pass.
Yeah, so say, like, if I know, okay. All right, so this is, I just want to teach y'all something, right?
Yes, teach us football.
Okay,
let's go.
So I know if I'm lining up, right, and I get a 9 technique and a Sims inside a 9 technique, I know the 9 has
lost already. I have no idea what you're talking about. Save it for another time. I really have no idea what you're saying.
All those syllables. All right, well, you know how we do on Mostly Football. We also talk about stories that are mostly about things besides football. First up, Marty, I might be moving to your hometown of Houston to get paid. Check this out. An ATM in H-Town started dispensing $100 bills instead of $10 bills because a vendor accidentally loaded the machine with Benjamins rather than Hamiltons. Deputies eventually shut it down, but the bank said customers can keep the cash. So what y'all think about that? First of all, where is this ATM, and can y'all run that back?
I think that's how the apocalypse is going to happen. They're just going to give everyone like $1 million, and everyone's going to think they're rich and start just buying shit, and then they realize the money's not going to be worth anything, and they're going to be pissed. And
this is how World War III starts.
I'm pissed off because I actually don't know the PIN to my debit card, so I wouldn't be able to get money out of there.
That is such a rich, helpless thing to say.
You know what's funny though? At first, when I was like, "What's a Hamilton?" You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is Hamilton? You know what I mean?
Nah, it's crazy because like people are actually driving there and it's like, you already got your, hurry up, let somebody else go. So there had to be a lot of cooperation because how much can you take out at a time? Like what's going on?
Too, you're like, that's just a wild situation.
All right,
I couldn't get any money.
All right, so an Irish Senior League soccer team faked the death of one of its own players to get out of playing a match this past weekend. The player himself was not in on the false report and found out about it himself while he was traveling in Spain. He's like, what you mean I'm dead? I'm here. How am I dead when I'm here, dog? I'm online.
It's like some Jason Bourne shit, like, right? Where they fake his death as he's going around Europe on like a Euro train pass. Like, what the fuck is that?
I love
Whose idea was this? Like, coach, we don't want to play these motherfuckers, so let's just say that James is dead. Like, James didn't make it. James ain't here today.
No,
like
this weekend, the Patriots are taking on the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins is dead. Rest in peace. So hopefully they'll reschedule the game at a later date.
See, football, they won't reschedule. They play, football is a sport where they play regardless. You die, they will just put your name, RIP, on your shirt.
Next man up.
Right?
Hey,
Next man up.
Okay, so I'm on this team, right? I'm on this team, and we're playing football. One of our key players tear their ACL, like at practice. You know what they did? They moved the huddle up 10 yards and kept practicing.
While he was dealing with his ACL?
While he was dealing with ACL in practice. That's how fucked up football is.
Cold-blooded.
So inhumane.
Okay, a 26-year-old American missionary who encroached on a remote Indian island was immediately killed when the tribe shot him with bows and arrows. The missionary was warned not to travel there. The tribe has not had contact with anyone from the outside world since 1991. Okay? They got bows and arrows. They don't know who you are. They don't know what your iPhone is. You look like a goddamn alien to them. They're gonna shoot you down.
Who the fuck does he think he is? Christopher Columbus?
Yeah.
How are you so arrogant that you like, oh, well, I'm on a missionary. I want to take Christianity to the one place that no one's taking Christianity to. I'm going to go to this island where they told me not to go. It's against the law. No one fucks with these people. You know what I'm saying? It's like Last of the Mohicans, apocalypto type shit. Don't go there. So I'm going to get in the canoe and kayak my ass over there. They shoot a warning shot with you, shoot you before you get to the land, and you decide to continue to go to the land.
What happened? They shot him on the first night,
me to do this.
And he was like, I'm going to keep going back.
When in the Bible did God say go fuck with people that don't want to be fucked with?
His last words were, guys, relax.
I'm here. God brought me here. I got a Bible. Here you go. Here's Jesus. I brought Jesus to you. I know you trying to do the Lord's work, but God damn it.
Or at least duck. All right. Finally, Marty, you'll love this one. This week, Apple announced it's launching a first ever entrepreneur camp, which is designed to create opportunities for app-driven businesses, specifically owned or led by women. It starts next January. I know you like that.
2019 is getting off to a great start. This is awesome. I work with Black Girls Code. So there's a lot of things like we did a thing with Microsoft to deliver surfaces to Black Girls Code so the girls can learn how to code and things like that. Because women in tech is a huge issue. There's not a lot of women in tech, and the women who do have it, they struggle. So the fact that Apple's extending a hand to help them gain and bring more women into tech is a huge thing. As a father of a daughter who's always on my fucking iPad, I'm super excited about this. I wasn't gonna buy the new iPad, but you might just have a new customer. You know, I'm a Google and Samsung guy, but shit.
I mean, this makes me really excited for January. Also, my comedy special drops. But shameless plug.
You should drop it on Apple iPads.
I should. I had nothing to say about this topic.
All right, just in case we haven't cursed enough already on the show, it's time to count the ways. Prepare yourself for how many fucks? Joining us right now for How Many Fucks, former winner of Last Comic Standing, the always hilarious Felipe Esparza is here. Thanks so much for stopping by the show. Where do your football allegiances lie? Do you have a team?
My team is the Oakland Raiders, man.
Yeah. How things going this year?
Man, we're 0 for a decade.
Well, let's get right to some fucks, shall we? So fuck the Raiders and let's play How Many Fucks. All right, the host of Storage Wars sold a storage unit to a woman for $500. The woman found a safe inside the storage unit, stuffed with $7.5 million. The original owner of the unit offered her $1.2 million to get the money back. Marty, how many fucks about the missing money?
I give a what the fuck because God damn it. Like, first of all, how you lose $7.5 million and don't even know about it, you know, or not sweating it, you know what I'm saying? But I think the person did the right thing because if you find that amount of money in the safe, then you know they're probably gonna fuck you up. If they probably looking for that money, so they find out you bought it, she did the right thing. Let me call them before they call me.
How many fucks do you give there?
Man, I don't give 10 Wolves of Wall Street fucks about that lady, man. Come on, man, that's fucking free money right there.
That's Wolf of Wall Street money there.
Fuck yeah, man.
$5 million.
Does she have to pay taxes on it?
I would have kept half and just listen, man. I found this empty bag right here.
I found $3 million. Aren't you excited?
I would have turned it into pesos, man. It would have been 10 million.
How many fucks you give, James?
As a Boy Scout, I'm always trying to do the right thing, but even that is too much. Like, I give one goody two-shoes fuck, because come on. You got to hold on to that 7.5, man.
I give $0 worth of fucks because Marty's right. Why someone has $7 million of cash that they're not even like paying attention to? I want nothing to do with that. I want no money. $0. I'm not part of the story.
It probably belonged to Pablo.
Why and why tell anybody? Why go out and tell anybody that you found 7.5? I ain't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I found 7. You didn't found nothing. Nobody found nothing.
Don't change your lifestyle. Slowly use it in increments. Like we've seen this so many times. Don't just go change your whole lifestyle. Slowly grow it, move it around, you know, add a little bit. No more than $10,000 cash deposit at a time.
Wash it, distribute it.
All right, you're saying too much.
I would have just changed my name.
Yeah,
Change my skin color.
You could have bought a whole new identity.
Macaulay Culkin is most famous for appearing in the Home Alone films, and he's still reaping the benefits. Culkin admitted on Jimmy Fallon that he has indulged women who want to watch the film, saying, quote, whatever gets them going. Marty, how many fucks you give about Macaulay Culkin using Home Alone?
I give a wet bandage worth of fucks.
Oh my God. Imagine you licked your finger.
hey, what's a fuck if you don't lick your finger first, right? You know what I'm saying? So,
how many fucks you give Felipe about Macaulay Culkin?
Oh man, I gave 3 Home Alone fucks, man, because the third one fucking sucked.
I don't think he was in the third one. I don't think he hung out.
That's why it fucking sucked, man. He was busy doing heroin somewhere. He was watching that movie. He was watching that movie, clapping like this.
The rich years were tough on Macaulay. James, how many fucks?
I give 1 throwback fuck. You know, it's always Throwback Thursday when you're around Macaulay Culkin. Whatever gets the ladies going. Hey, when I'm on a date, I like to play old episodes of Wildin' Out to get them going.
Do you have a highlight tape?
Yeah, if you want to go watch My Family's Got Guts on Nickelodeon. Yeah, Climb the Aggro Crag takes on a whole new meeting.
You were on Guts?
Yeah, I hosted the reboot. Yeah, Climb the Aggro Crag.
Sorry, that's fake excitement.
All right, we'll talk about that later. I give 12 fucks because that movie was #1 in the box office 12 weeks in a row back then. Like, that's fucking crazy when you think about it now, and I hope he's got 12 chicks off of showing that movie.
I just wondered, though, is the woman creepy, though, because she's watching him as a child?
That opens up a whole other can.
She wants to see where the money came from.
You guys ever wonder how rich was that fucking uncle? To fly all these motherfuckers to France?
Yeah,
I think he left that $7 million behind the storage room.
That's what it was.
How the fuck can you afford every fucking body to fly to fucking Chicago?
That was a big-ass family.
And a big-ass house.
They never had Ubers before Ubers. Yeah. The white vans came.
They had an hour before the fucking flight, and they fucking made it.
That's rich shit.
A Georgia woman spent 3 months in jail after police arrested her because they mistook the blue cotton candy in her car for meth. I hate when that happens. Now she's suing. Surprise, Marty, how many fucks for the Walter White confusion?
I get a theme park worth of fucks, because that's where you can find cotton candy at. How would I feel to leave in the Disneylands of the world with some cotton candy that me and my daughter have, and they pull me over for DWB, but they actually find cotton candy and they say it's meth. It's fucked up. But the craziest thing is, why do you have meth in the floorboard? I mean, not meth. Why do you have cotton candy in your floorboard?
Like casually driving around eating cotton candy. How many fucks, Felipe?
Man, I don't give a mad cow disease fuck about that girl, man. Come on, man. You don't know what was fucking meth? You didn't taste it? You didn't see how fast she was working?
How many fucks, James?
Did you drop some water on it?
I give a Breaking Bad reboot worth of fucks. This is where the
Spanish one?
The Spanish Breaking Bad starts with some girl and she's doing it with cotton candy. I don't know. This whole fuck was awful.
Well, this is fucking weird for me because the story took place in Georgia, so I'm going to give an Arizona worth of fucks because if there's meth in the mix, it's probably in Arizona. So I was surprised to hear it was in Georgia. Finally, traces of shit have been found on McDonald's touchscreens in London. Scientists tested the kiosk and discovered the infection-causing bacteria. Marty, how many fucks about the super unhappy meal?
I give a kindergarten worth of fuck, because this is some kindergarten shit. Like, wash your hands, fucking people. You're spreading germs around the world at the McDonald's, and you're touching the screen, you're passing shit around, and you're literally passing shit around when people touch the screen. Like, I want to test people's iPads, see how many people have shit on their iPads.
How many fucks you get, Felipe?
Man, that was the nastiest shit I ever seen, man. I would give it like 3 Dirty Sanchez fucks. And if you don't know what a Dirty Sanchez is, I'm sorry, man. You don't live in America.
I give a fuck but then you can supersize it, okay? What's worse, shit on your hand or shit in your stomach? Because if you eat McDonald's, there's shit in your stomach.
Yeah.
But now there's shit in your hand, so now the shit is matching.
I'm giving it $1 menu worth of fucks because if you're spending $1 on a meal that gives you a drink, a sandwich, a side, and it's $1, then you're right, it's shit in your body.
And you get secret sauce.
Felipe, I appreciate you coming on the show. Not sponsored by McDonald's. Where can people find you?
People can find me on FelipeWorld.com. I'm gonna be at the Comedy Store tomorrow night, Friday,
nice.
at 10:30, and Denver, Colorado, New Year's Eve, and Ontario Improv. End of the fucking end of the month, December.
Well, good shit, dude. Thanks so much for coming by the show, and best of luck to your Raiders the rest of the way. In a few moments, we'll be joined by Liz Loza and special guest, one of the stars of Veep, Matt Walsh. They're hanging out with us for a Week 13 fantasy football preview. But first, Josh Rosen, he had an amazing moment last Sunday when a penalty flag hit him in the hands. He panicked and he threw the ball away. Rosen's having trouble catching a break this year, but someone's here. You here to help him? Are you here to help him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here to help him.
You want to teach him Spanish?
Yeah.
Take a look.
101.
Have you not sustained a significant injury during an NFL football game? As a non-violent moment left you embarrassed? Did you get hit in the hands with a flag and get scared into throwing the ball away like a punk bitch? Don't just sit there like a toilet seat cover. Call us, Triplet, and Schwartz. We'll fight for you.
If you've sustained an emotional boo-boo during an NFL game that was not the result of getting tackled by some juicehead, let us get you the bread you deserve.
Those grundle grabs are a real doozy. Anyway, call today, and we'll be sure to send you a free Sam Bradford handicap placard. That's a value of over $129 million. And remember, we don't get paid until you pay us our mandatory retainer. So let us get your back. It's like Schwartz always says.
Now don't go being a punk bitch. Give us a call now.
All right, our fantasy football guru, Liz Loza, is back. She's gone Hollywood on us because making his first visit to Mostly Football is actor, writer, comedian, star of HBO's Veep, and diehard Bears fan,
yes, sir.
Matt Walsh. Nice to see you. How does first place feel in December?
Weird. It's been a long time. As
well,
you know, it's been
are
a
you
long
nervous? Because it's very Chicago Bear of us to fuck it up at the end.
Yeah, I am nervous, sure. But at least the defense will keep us in every game. And after that, it's a coin toss. If Trubisky's healthy, comes out hot, I like our chances getting out of the first playoff round.
How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers not looking Aaron Rodgers-esque? I mean, that's got to feel good.
You know what was funny is when he got hurt the first game of this year against the Bears, all my buddies, we were watching the game, we felt terrible, and then he came back and fucking killed us. And then we were like, fuck you, Aaron Rodgers.
It's like he just has, it's like, it's not even Green Bay versus Chicago. It's Aaron Rodgers fucking up.
Yeah, it's the worst. Yeah, so I don't care. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is amazing. He's amazing.
And Kyle Fuller in that game, obviously, had some big oopses. And my friend took her daughter to the Cubs game because the Cubs were in the playoffs, we're in the playoffs. And Kyle Fuller handed the daughter a foul ball, and I put it on Twitter, and everyone was like, "F Kyle Fuller! Oh, he can catch a foul ball, but he can't get. What's going on?" So.
But look at Kyle Fuller's playing great.
He is.
Now he is, but you know, he in theory lost the game for the Bears.
One person does not lose the game.
Marty,
yes, sir.
We all are in.
Players win games.
All cool.
Players win games. Coaches lose games. Everyone knows that.
Well, how do you feel
Tight
about
end never missed a block.
I like it. I think the offense is exciting, and Fangio's a great defensive coordinator, so I like it. I think we got lucky.
And what about Trubisky? I mean, it's hard for me to reconcile.
I think the expectation is he would be 20% better this year, and I think he's delivering. I think his second year in. Huh?
I like Vic, a great dude.
Is he? I don't know.
Really good dude.
Yeah.
He's been there for a while.
Players like him?
Yeah, you want to play for Vic.
Who's the best coach? Who's the most popular coach with players that you were around? The players freaking. I heard Lovie Smith. People loved Lovie.
I didn't play with Lovie.
Okay.
After he won 10 games, they fired him.
Yeah.
How it is being a black coach.
I knew it was coming. I could see. I literally got see your eyeballs going.
He got 8 seasons, I think. I think he got a lot of leash. He got like 8 seasons.
But he's winning 10 games. Like, he's a winning coach.
Not at the end, though. He came out strong. They went to a Super Bowl, I think, his first year, and then they were great, and then he just tailed off towards the end.
Illinois now right now is down in Champaign.
Not doing great.
It's not doing so.
No.
Is anyone ever doing great there?
But people, the players I met who played for him loved Lovie.
Oh,
he was the best, apparently.
Everyone loved Lovie.
Yeah.
I didn't get to play. I played for Mark Trestman.
Yeah.
And
what was
John
he
Fox.
like?
It was kind of like
nerd.
Yeah, very socially awkward. You
Okay.
know, hard to have like a heart-to-heart conversation with.
Okay.
Really smart. He's an offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a head coach personality.
Be a leader, yeah.
Yeah, to be able to deal with multiple personalities on several different levels and have conversations and have the human element of relating to the human being. So
yeah.
I think that's what he struggled with. But as calling plays, I'll go out there and he calling plays. I know I'm going to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mark Trestman calling plays. We go deep, we go long, we going to throw the ball a lot. Like, shit.
Yeah.
And Cuddy was slanging that motherfucker too. So my thing, like when we played, I just think like leadership, you know, attitude reflects leadership, right, boss? What movie is that? You don't know. Remember the Titans. But
oh my God. Oh my God.
You act like that was like the iconic scene.
It was.
It felt like a throwaway line. I agree with you.
Was it not?
I don't remember that line. I've seen that movie.
That's what led up to the strong side, left side. That's a build-up.
All the like technical football lines from the strong side.
We went over this in the beginning of the show. We don't know shit about football.
Right.
I mean, this is brilliant, but I'm going to talk to the guest a little bit.
Yes.
So let's stay in the NFC North for a
Yeah,
bit.
you see him all the time.
Yeah, I do. You went to NIU.
I went to Northern Illinois.
So we got to talk about Kenny Galladay.
I know.
Your division rival.
Northern gets a couple pro athletes I went when I was in college many moons ago. We had a guy named Tim Terrell who was a quarterback and then played special teams for the Falcons for like 3 years.
I know Tim Terrell.
Really?
No.
Oh, you fucking.
That was great.
Hey,
How you go from
How
you go from quarterback to special teams?
He wanted to. I know. Because he was a running quarterback.
Who is he? The guy from the Saints?
Tebow. I think it was Tim Tebow.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill went from quarterback to running back to
Tommy
special
Lee
teams
Lewis
to punter.
went to Northern too, and he's
Really?
also on the Saints. I think so.
Oh, really?
I played with Taysom Hill. He's at Green Bay. They let him go, and I knew he's a phenomenal athlete. So
Yeah?
yeah.
What about your fantasy team? Do you have Kenny Galladay? Did you draft him?
I picked him up this week. He was floating around in one league,
He
so
was
we'll see.
floating around in your league.
I'm in one league that has 4 people, so you can
Hashtag
basically
baby
have
time.
everything you want.
Oh
Like
my
it's not even competitive, but I'm winning that league. But I did pick him up in one league.
I mean, you're on mostly football, so we'll give
Yeah.
you some good juju.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're playing the Rams this week. The Detroit Lions are playing the Rams this week.
Yeah.
Could this be a trap game potentially coming off of a bye? I don't think so.
I'm
because I don't
nervous
think
as
so.
a Rams fan. I'm definitely nervous.
I think the Lions could steal a victory for whatever reason.
Wait.
I
I'm not
do.
nervous about this one because
No?
first of all, they're practicing
Stafford.
outside.
Yeah, but the
a
Lions
very
don't get
Belichick
blown
thing to
out.
do.
The Lions don't get blown out. They've been in these games.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford has been sacked 19 times over the past
I get
4
it.
weeks.
I get it. But the Rams. I'm telling you, are
Is that
flying
running back
high.
healthy?
Coming
What's
off the bye. They're
Not.
coming
He will
off
not
the
be
big
playing.
crazy video game at
Okay.
the Coliseum, feeling themselves. Maybe playing down to their
So
competition.
maybe they drop this game. Let's give it to you. Maybe they drop this one. I don't think they're going to. But then they play the Bears, which is a personal conflict of mine.
Yes.
The following week.
Yes.
Is that in Chicago?
Yeah, on a
Yes.
Sunday
Yes,
night.
that
They
is
got back-to-back road games to the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might.
Sunday
The
night.
Bears are
Prime
probably
time.
going. Bears are probably. It's gonna
I
be
like the
cold.
Bears' chances.
It's gonna be different. I'm rooting for the Bears. I mean, I know
Sorry.
a lot of Bears fans think that I don't root for the Bears, but I actually do root for the Bears.
I think you are very Chicago. You're wearing blue and orange on your jacket.
I made this jacket with Chicago Bear money.
That's Chicago cold too, man. That's like unlivable.
It's hard to go from
unlivable.
There's two
I think
things
the
about-
Rams are not a much better team, but a better team than the Bears. But Sunday night in 2 weeks, I definitely think the Bears can win.
See, this is why it's tough.
Because the Rams put up crazy points. Like, I don't know that the defense is going to neutralize that team totally.
Aqib Talib is going to be back by then.
Okay.
That's
Chain
good.
Snatching.
We'll take it.
Okay, this is one of the toughest things though is being a Midwest team and going to like Tampa in December.
Oh.
And a Tampa team going to the Midwest in December. There's a tough thing because it's so humid. You're not used to it, and you can lose games like that. On the show, but you know, fantasy football is great. I like to talk about real shit, and real shit is where I live at. And that's
Well,
why
let's go real. Let's talk Trump.
So what I like to do, is talk about like weird shit too. Real weird shit. So what is the most underrated invention ever made?
I was going to say the disposable early pregnancy test.
How did people,
for obvious reasons.
How did people know if they was pregnant or not?
You had to go to a doctor and they killed a rabbit or something. Isn't
Don't
that
look
the
at
myth?
me.
Oh, you're a woman.
They kill rabbits?
I've never killed a
They
rabbit.
I think they would inject a rabbit with your blood, and if the rabbit...
It's like in Salem. It's like the Salem witch kind of era.
You've heard the saying, if the rabbit dies, right? Have you heard that?
No, I've not.
Wow, I'm old.
What's this witchcraft? What is this witchcraft that you brought to the
It's in an Aerosmith song. I know that much.
Oh, yeah, we don't know who they are.
I don't know. I've never killed a rabbit.
I mean, I know who they are, but zero lyrics.
All right.
What about you, Liz?
I think today it's raining in Los Angeles. I'm going to say the umbrella. I totally forgot that the umbrella was a thing, but that's a pretty underrated invention.
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
For centuries.
Yeah.
Yes, it beats the newspaper, which is also no longer around.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I would have to go with ultra-thin condoms.
Oh?
I mean, because like condoms itself are like, so much going on. But that ultra-thin, it's like...
overrated.
But
so underrated.
everyone in the world knows the truth about sex is that, and the number one form of birth control is the pull-out method.
All right, let's not promote that on the show.
What about you? It's the truth. I can't help it.
Blown away when I get into a piece of metal and I go 30,000 feet into the air and I wake up and I'm in another part of the world.
Yeah.
That shit bugs me out. I try not to think about it while I'm on it, but like, what? You're in a plane? Just the idea of flying.
That's a whole Louis C.K. bit. He does that whole bit about it, yeah.
That's like a bumblebee being able to fly. It's just aerodynamically impossible.
And then in that movie that's coming out in December, Bumblebee does fly, and I'm like, extra.
Oh, yeah.
But especially during takeoff, when like the plane is just like kind of like, I'm like, why? How do we not just fall now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it.
Well, how about you?
Since I am the genius on the show, I am going I'm going to go with the window screen. The window screen is so underrated.
Yeah.
Because people were dying from mosquito bites, things flying in the window. You couldn't close the window because it was hot. You had to open up the window, so people were dying from getting bit by mosquitoes, West Nile and shit, birds flying in, pigeons coming in, all that shit. But then someone invented the window screen. The window screen is underrated, and it's a great tool that everyone uses and no one pays attention to. Everyone overlooks the window screen.
There's like a biopic in there somewhere.
Most underrated. Nobody ever talks about screens being amazing. That's a good point.
Thank you.
On that note, time to say goodbye, Matt. Appreciate you stopping by.
I love
know
this,
you want to
in
go
the rain.
deeper into home improvements and what other amazing inventions were done around the house. But we'll have to save that for another time. Liz, thanks for blessing us with fantasy football.
Can I get on the show?
As always.
What show? Veep?
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Wait. By the way,
Black president.
That's a flex.
Yeah?
That's a flex right there. He said, "Can I get on your show?" You're like, what show? 'Cause I'm working. many different projects in development and ongoing.
Which show? Right. I should have said which show.
Which show?
Yeah.
Marty.
I just want to make a cameo somewhere.
Marty, will you make a cameo in this?
If I get a show of my own, I'll put you on.
Marty makes a cameo in this next piece, sitting on the toilet. It's deep shit.
If I'm taking a dump at 11:59 p.m. and I don't finish till 12:45 a.m., is it the same shit, different day? Deep shit.
What the fuck did you eat? 46 minutes on the toilet?
I like to read on the toilet. That's why they call it a library. I go through the shade room on the toilet. Like, I read bad shit while taking a shit. Yeah, that's why I indulge.
46 minutes. All right. Yeah. Well, we do like to honor greatness on Mostly Football, so it's time for the Marty Awards. Today I give my Marty Award to the legend, the late, great Craig Sager. He passed away 2 years ago, and today's Craig Sager Jacket Day in the NBA. I had a chance to meet him a few times, such a kind soul. Anytime you saw him on the sidelines with those wild jackets, you knew he was in the building. So shout out to Craig Sager. We miss you.
Well, this week my Marty Award goes to Scotty Young. Illustrator, writer, Marvel, just dropped a new thing. And I fell in love with this guy reading I Hate Fairyland. It's a graphic novel. If you have not checked it out, he just dropped a new graphic novel called Middle West, which I'm super excited about, and it's amazing work, and it inspires me to be creative, and I love this guy. He's
graphic
great.
Novel drops only on this show. I like it.
I like how he said he just did this thing.
I did so many things that he does.
Yeah,
like, you know?
That's why he got a Marty Award.
Yeah.
Shout out. All right, my Marty Award goes to Raider Nation because, guys, it's just been bad for you guys. It's been really bad, but you're keeping your head up. You're showing up there. You're putting that makeup on your face. You're leaving the kids at home. You're almost getting the fight still. You're showing up and you're supporting your team even though your team doesn't support you. I, too, am a member of Raider Nation. My grandfather who passed away, he took me to my first NFL game. It was a Raider game, and I love that team to the soul. And right now, we just have to come together and love on ourselves, because it's bad out there. So my Marty Award goes to the downtrodden, sad, depressed Raider Nation.
This may be too soon for this joke, because I don't know when your grandpa died, but maybe the Raiders will be the death of you.
Bad joke! Bad joke! Bad joke! I miss my grandpa.
In this week's Inventions with Marty, I met up with Kickstradamus, custom sneaker heat maker, to all of the stars that you see on the court. You see them everywhere. I wanted to show off my artistic side, so he and I decided to have a kickoff to create the first ever pair of mostly football shoes. Check it out. How does one be like, you know what I'm gonna do? Mom, Dad, I figured out what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm gonna paint shoes.
Yeah, I grew up in downtown LA, you know, in the hood. I've been doing art since I was like 4 years old. I used to like just draw my own comic book characters when I was 4. I was working part-time at Finish Line, and I was making minimum wage, and then they were taking money for child support. So I was only making like $150 every 2 weeks.
Damn.
In LA, you can't afford nothing with that. I had to find a hustle, and my cousin was like, yo, can you fix my shoes? So, you know, I did some research. I started fixing shoes. People were dropping off like 3 pairs of shoes with money inside the boxes. And it's like, yo, here you go. And I just like, as I continued to do research, that's when I saw people were doing art on shoes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, I could do that shit.
Yeah.
Like my art style, like I do a lot of paint drips, like a cartoonish
Drip, drip. Came through dripping.
Yes, sir.
Drip, drip.
And I tape off the midsole. That way, because if you paint a lot on the midsole, it's just gonna come off. This is how I get the crisp lines. I actually had to graphic design the stencils, and then I had to put them through my machine, and it'll cut it all out.
Laser cut it?
Yeah, laser cut it.
You got a laser cutter?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I had to invest in my shit.
Yeah, you gotta invest in yourself.
Normally, I'm doing this on my own, you know, in my studio, vibing out to some music and stuff. But you an artist, and I like the stuff that I've seen, so I think we could collaborate on some crazy.
All right, so I do one?
Concoctions. Yeah, you do one, I do one, and then you're just gonna have like a what the theme, you know? You're gonna have like 2 different shoes you can just throw on.
What superhero you think, if they came out with a shoe game, would have the dopest shoe game? I already know the answer to this, too.
Batman and Iron Man are rich as hell.
Yeah, but that don't mean they got taste.
So who do you think, bro?
I think Captain America would have a dope-ass shoe game. The Hulk.
But where you gonna get shoes that big, bro?
Saying you make them size 20s for fucking Carl Anthony Towns, like.
What about villains, though?
I love villains. The Joker.
He can tap dance.
Nah, the Joker might have the best shoe game.
I mean, Thanos, though? He ain't got that?
Nah, he ain't worried about it. He's a flip-flop guy. I'm gonna go buy some canvases. You got me excited. I'm gonna paint today.
Just get crazy with it.
Hey guys, thanks for kicking off with Kickstradamus and Marty. These are the first day of schools. You guys see them first.
Sir.
Right here is documented so people can't steal the idea we came up with. So, man, appreciate it, man. Shit's fire.
You crushed it, bro.
Yeah, they coming soon. First day of schools.
First day of schools. I think this kid will be swaggy as fuck.
Yeah, definitely swaggy. Any kid of mine is swaggy.
So what you would say?
Right? He's fighting for the intellectual property. Like no one's coming at him for the intellectual property of the shoe.
These are the first day of schools. These are the 2 pair that I made. I keep Kickstradamus on the shelf in my shelf of awesomeness in the Department of Awesomeness in the Imagination Agency studio. So I wear these out a lot, and these are the ones I made. These are the first day of schools, and they're fire. So you can't get a pair. So fuck off.
Really nice message for the holidays.
Kickstradamus show on Complex and Yahoo Sports debuted this week with episodes featuring Carl Anthony Towns in his size 20s, Jordan Bell, and Akeem Talib, my man. And next week here on Mostly Football, I have another great Marty adventure. Because who does the best adventures? Marty does. Yeah, Adventures with Marty, we want more. I'm hitting the sand for some beach volleyball with a couple of the pros, and they kicked my ass. I usually don't bring sand to the beach, but today, that beach was very beachy.
Spike Town on 3. 1, 2, 3, Spike Town! Cowboys football game.
Another epic close-up at the end, though.
Well, Marty lost all his fake money, so he's probably smoking weed in the back, creating amazing cartoons. So it's time now to welcome in our resident cowboy. He used to be a Dolphin, but now he's the biggest hobby horse enthusiast we know, Adam Caparell. Nice to see you, bro.
I hate dressing up.
What happened, dude? What happened?
I got destroyed because I think Washington was point shaving #1. Matthew Stafford can't throw a football #2. And what the hell happened with the Saints and Falcons?
Yeah, you're just a complete mess. It's only fitting, given your outfit, you give us your insights in tonight's Saints and Cowboys game, right? So let's go right back to the Cowboys.
Yeah, back to the well. Listen, I mean, the Saints have cost me a ton of money this year, so I'm due for something to happen on tonight's game. But 2 reasons to think heavily about taking the Cowboys. #1, they're 20-9 against the spread under Jason Garrett when they are 3-point dogs or greater. And also, the Saints have covered 9 games in a row. The last 2 teams in NFL history to cover 9 games in a row failed to cover in their 10th game. So again, at some point, this shit has to stop for the Saints, and I think it may be tonight. So think heavily, think wisely about putting money down on those 7.5 points.
And take this seriously, because that's a hobby horse.
Well, we can see that you took the L. So let's see how the rest of everything shook out last week, shall we? You got crushed. You lost all 3 of your football bets, but saved face with Phil Mickelson's big win out in the desert. Adam, that brings you back
a measly $50.
Even for the year. An uneventful week for me, but the Cowboys covered, so I still won money, $100 at that. Pushed my total to 2,100 fake dollars. Wow, I'm really good at this silly game. James, don't call it a comeback. Huge week for you. $400 in mythical money and getting back to even on the year as well. It's been a long journey, but you're back to exactly where you started.
We back, baby.
All right, let's get things going.
We back time for last.
With the games this week, and we'll kick things off with the Monday Nighter. The Washington football team, they travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles used a big second half to come back versus the Giants last week. Do they keep things rolling as a 6.5-point favorite at home? Seems a little high.
It is way too high. How are the Eagles favored by this many points against anybody right now? And again, a rivalry game, always say take the points. So you got to take the points here because all the trends favor the Redskins. Most importantly, they are 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games in this series. So I have $100 on the Redskins, another team that owes me money.
James, who are you going with in this one?
You know me. I go where the music is flowing. Right now, Meek Mill has 2 new singles. He's pubbing the album, talking about police reform. Everybody in Philly is motivated. Let me get $100.
Oh, wow. All right. Wale has something to say about that, repping D.C. I'm going to go with Washington. I really hate both these football teams right now, but I'm going to go with $100 on Washington and fuck them for signing that criminal. All right. Let's go on to Foxborough, shall we? The Patriots, that's right, Tom Brady, number 12, and the Pats, they play host to the Vikings, who are fighting for their playoff lives. Adam, anyway, Kirk Cousins can cover that 5-point spread? I mean, he always shows up in big games.
Hell no. Listen, Patriots have the better coach, better quarterback, game is at home, and the Vikings are just 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 games versus a team with a winning record. Yeah, another $100 on the Pats.
James, what do you got?
You know, this is a pick where, like most of my picks, it's not really educated. It's not really coming from a sensible place. But I'm going with the Vikings. Thielen, is that the guy's name? I'm feeling Thielen to the point where I'm going to give them $100.
Dude, you're such a clown. This is why you're so bad at this. It's Tom fucking Brady. Are you kidding me? The Pats play for these moments. They're kind of a mess in September, October, feeling it out. But here we go now. It's after Thanksgiving. It's go time. So I got $300 of this fake Monopoly money that I'm not going to have to clean up on the Patriots. Last one. We've got a showdown of 2 great veteran QBs, 2 old white guys, and they're both not named Kavanaugh Martellus. We've got the Chargers and Phillip Rivers. They're taking on Big Ben and the Steelers. Pittsburgh enters the game as a 3.5-point favorite. Even with Melvin Gordon out with a sprained MCL, how much does that factor into your pick, Adam? Because the line didn't move when it was announced that Gordon was going to be out.
Yeah, it doesn't really factor into my pick. I mean, I kind of want to get cute here and take the Chargers and take the points, but I'm rolling with the Steelers just because they are 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 games following a straight-up loss, and they had that brutal performance last week in Denver, so give me $50 on the Steelers.
James, who you got?
We all saw Big Ben throw that ugly-ass interception. He has to get a win or they're going to kick him out the city. Wiz Khalifa and all the other Pittsburgh representatives.
Yeah, name a few more Pittsburgh rappers.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller, and that's all I got.
All right, well done. All right.
With that being said, though, I got $150 on the Steelers. Are you getting this shot?
That's what
We're gonna work on how you make it
looks like
rain.
in a Pittsburgh strip club, right? That's Pittsburgh, a city known for its adult ballet, huh? I'm gonna go $50 on the Steelers as well. All right, Adam, why don't you take the toss for getting us out of this segment?
Well, all right, so speaking of dumb animals, like I have right here, here's our
I'm
ugly-ass
Ron
dog pick of the
Burgundy.
week. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have places to go, people to see.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Get out of here.
David, are you ready? Let's get started. Higher or lower than 0?
Lower.
Lower. Well, all right, it looks like your luck right now. Thank you so much for playing tonight's Pechanga High-Low game brought to you by Pechanga Resort and Casino.
Oh, Lakers fans are the worst. Really? Come on.
You know what that's like? That's like when you write something in your caption, in the comments, people ask you what a song is that you wrote in your caption. It's like, I just told you the answer. You know it's gonna be higher than 0, motherfucker. Just say higher, higher, higher. Public school sucks.
I think that was his problem. I think he was a little too
I think
high.
you don't need to be any higher.
I think you're right. Well, like we say every week on this show, sometimes we're just not the best versions of ourselves, and that's okay, Laker fan. However, you were just a nominee for this week. You're better than that. That guy was a nominee. This week's winner or loser, the Washington football team. That's right. As we talked about at the top of the show, they signed Rubin Foster on waivers despite him being charged for domestic violence. Redskins, and even that sounds fucked up to say, you're better than that. Well, maybe you aren't better than that. I don't know.
I mean, they didn't even waste time. It was just like, goddamn, like, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah. So
anybody want this moldy bread? Say, I eat it.
Excited to see how many Rubin Foster jerseys they sell at the Washington games. All right, before we go.
Rubin Foster has the face of a WNBA center.
I think the WNBA players are beautiful.
Before we go, a parting gift. Speaking of basketball, who said NBA players were the only ones with dope handshakes? Check out NASA's Mission Control. That's right, the NASA folks were able to land something on Mars. After they successfully landed on Mars for 7 months traveling through space. They've been waiting for that one. So shout out to NASA. Final frontier.
I spent time in NASA. I have friends at NASA. I have a friend that's an astronaut. And
Marty's working on a program for people to invent
Culture
art
Marty.
in space. Yeah.
You know, an artist, an astronaut, an alien.
I'm actually going to design his next patch when he goes to space.
Well, shout
That's
out.
pretty cool. So
yeah.
shout out to NASA, everybody
to
down
NASA.
there. I love NASA. I'm from Houston. I wanted to go to space, and Mars is really cool. I can't wait till Elon moves up there, and I could just call him.
What are you guys up to this weekend? You're not going to space. You're going to be grounded here on Earth. You guys got any big plans?
Nah.
I got huge plans. I'm speaking on a panel about creating with purpose this Saturday, and I also get to take my daughter to go see the Black Spider-Man, as she calls it, the premiere with Sony. I'm super excited about this. Peter Ramsey is one of the directors on it, who they call the Obama of animation. It's really dope. I'm excited to see Miles plays Spider-Man, and this kid's super dope, and it's just really cool to see another black superhero animated on screen right now.
All right, so that sounds like you got a pretty dope weekend.
I do dope shit.
We'll be on that James shit.
This is the coolest shit. This is the coolest shit y'all get to do all week.
That's right, and I get to do it each and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 Pacific. Simulcast on Complex and Yahoo. You can check us out on YouTube. How cool is this? Facebook. We're everywhere. Yahoo's app.
You can find us on I am Ben Lyons.
Marty loves apps. We got a great football game tonight on Yahoo. So enjoy the games, everybody, and thanks for watching Mostly Football. Peace.
Don't forget to pull out.